All right, let's talk about something we all think about: how to live a longer, healthier life. Today, we're diving into a blueprint backed by Harvard research. It boils down to 8 key habits. And you know what? The science is probably a lot simpler than you imagine. So let's jump right in. Okay, first things first, let's tackle the big one: aging. Is it all just luck? The genetic lottery? Or do we actually have a say in how it all plays out? I think the answer is going to surprise you.
And here's the answer, straight from Harvard's research. It's kind of mind-blowing. Check this out. Our genes, the DNA we're born with, that only accounts for about 25% of how long we live. Just a quarter. The other 75%, well, that comes down to our lifestyle choices. Think about that for a second. The things you do every single day have 3 times more impact than your genetics. That is a huge amount of control.
And this isn't just about tacking on more years to your life. The real goal here is what they call health span. It's about having more life in your years, more years of feeling good, being independent, and just enjoying things. To make sense of it all, we're going to group these 8 habits into 3 core pillars. So let's get into our first pillar, the active body. This is all about our physical foundation, how we move, how we rest, and, the fuel we put in the tank. Now, inside this pillar, we've got 4 key habits. You've got your actual, dedicated exercise, but also just being active day to day. Then there's the stuff to avoid, like smoking, which is a massive fast-forward button on aging. And finally, the things you really need to prioritize, like getting good sleep and staying hydrated. For now, let's really zoom in on the power of movement. So when we say consistent movement, what are we talking about? Well, the World Health Organization has a really clear number for us: 150 minutes. That's it, 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week. We're talking a brisk walk, maybe some light weights. Hitting that simple goal is an absolute game changer for your heart, your lungs, your whole body, really. But here's a really important point from the Harvard research. It's not just about hitting the gym. Your active daily routine is just as vital. All those little things, gardening, cleaning the house, choosing the stairs over the elevator, they all add up. They're your secret weapon against just sitting around all day. And this quote from Estelio Dantis really hits the nail on the head. Being active isn't about looking a certain way. It's about being able to do things for yourself, staying sharp, and being part of the world. It's about maintaining the very core of a full, independent life. Okay, so we've covered how we use our bodies. Now let's talk about how we fuel them. This brings us to pillar number 2, intelligent nutrition. And trust me, this goes way deeper than just eat your greens. We're talking about what your food is doing to you on a cellular level. The science here is actually pretty wild. When you eat a lot of processed foods and sugar, it literally makes your cells age faster. It does this by shortening something called telomeres. Think of them like the little plastic tips on your shoelaces, but for your DNA. When they get shorter, it causes inflammation throughout your body, which is the starting point for so many chronic diseases. So what's the solution? Well, the evidence points pretty strongly in one direction. A huge study found that women on a Mediterranean-style diet, lots of plants, whole grains, healthy fats, had a 23% lower risk of death from any cause. Let that sink in. 23%. That's not a tiny difference. That is the incredible power of food, right there in the numbers. All right, that brings us to our third and final pillar, the connected mind. And I'm going to say it right now. These habits are every bit as important as diet and exercise, but they are so often the ones we let slide. And when I say important, I mean it. The numbers here are just staggering. A recent study of almost 30,000 people found that folks who were socially active had an 87% better survival rate over 5 years. 87%. How is that possible? Well, it turns out strong relationships help keep our stress hormones in check and actually give our immune system a boost. And the last piece of this puzzle is your mindset. Being an optimist isn't just about having a sunny personality, it's a legitimate health strategy. A positive outlook is scientifically proven to lower the kind of chronic stress that wears our bodies down, and that directly leads to better health. Okay, now for what I think is the most important part of this whole thing. These 3 pillars, the body, nutrition, and the mind, they aren't separate boxes to check off. The real magic happens when you see how they all work together. It's a synergy where 1 + 1 + 1 equals way more than 3. It's like a powerful positive feedback loop. Think about it. When you eat well, you have the energy to be active. When you're active, you sleep better. When you sleep better, your body repairs itself and your mind is sharper. And when your mind is sharp and connected, you make better choices, which brings you right back to eating well. See, each habit literally builds on the last one. So, I know what you might be thinking. This is a lot. Where do I even begin? And that's a fair question. The absolute key here is not to get overwhelmed. It all starts with just one small, totally manageable step.
Seriously, you don't have to change your entire life tomorrow. Just pick one thing, just one. Add one serving of veggies to your lunch. Take the stairs today instead of the elevator. Drink one extra glass of water. Pick up the phone and call a friend. These tiny little actions, they're the seeds that grow into powerful, lasting habits. So there you have it, the 3 pillars: the active body, intelligent nutrition, and the connected mind. You don't need to tackle them all at once. The only question that really matters right now is this: which pillar will you strengthen first? The choice and all that power is completely up to you.